All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. All right, this lesson is going to be going into the State of Tennessee Executive Order number 83. As you can see here, it was published or signed and stamped August 6th, 2021. All right. And it says, whereas hospitalization are increasing as COVID-19 variants continue to increase positive case rates and burden the healthcare system, and whereas the reinstatement of certain regulatory flexibilities is necessary to support adequate capacity within the healthcare system, and whereas COVID 19 vaccines are widely available and effective and widespread, uh, vaccinations is the best tool to combat COVID 19 and ensure social, economic, and educational stability. And all eligible persons are strongly encouraged to get vaccinated against COVID 19. So, the governor is recognizing that the vaccine is the best tool to combat COVID-19. So this is an executive order to combat COVID-19. It says, now therefore I, Bill Lee, which is the governor of Tennessee, in order to facilitate regulatory flexibility in the healthcare system, economic and other recovery, and maintenance of federal compliance and eligibility, do hereby declare and recognize a continuing state of emergency and hereby order the following. All right, so it's a state of emergency. All right, so he's authorized to not have to go through, the Senate, Congress, and he's in power of Tennessee right now. Governor Bill Lee is is in control of Tennessee. Whatever orders he's passed, the is say so is final law. All right. In other words, he's pretty much the supreme ruler of Tennessee right now, as long as this state of emergency continues. All right. You can look up state of emergency. It's defined as a situation in which a government is empowered to be able to put through policies that it would normally not be permitted to do for the safety and protection of their citizens. We know what First Thessalonians, the second chapter, says. Or fifth chapter, Salakia. Yeah, First Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. And this has been quoted every day, maybe more times, every day. But hey, we're gonna keep speaking it, man, because it's a hoax. This is not for your safety. It's about control. It says a government can declare such a state during a natural disaster, civil unrest, armed conflict, medical pandemic or epidemic, or other biosecurity risk. Uh, Justitium is the equivalent in Roman law, a concept in which the Roman Senate could put forward a final decree that was not subject to dispute, yet helped save lives in times of strife. All right, so this state of emergency is to combat COVID-19, right? Now let's go into, and he recognizes that the vaccine is the best tool to combat it. Now let's go, straight to the point, because let's see. Actually, these are. You can read through it yourself, but the main one I want to highlight is this one, number 18. It says temporary quarantine and isolation facilities may be constructed. So, you don't think that these aren't going to be used? Quarantine and isolation facilities. So the people that aren't vaccinated and test positive, they're just going to put them in the quarantine and isolation facilities for however many days, whether it be 10, 14, a month, 2 months, 4 months, whatever. You don't think they're going to use this? And then the rest of the executive order just lowers the standards for people to uh, uh, be hired into the medical field. So you can have, retired medical workers come back easily. They don't have to go through, rigorous training, um, and the standard has been dropped. I think I even saw, like, when I was reading it, uh, they're they're not gonna check to see if anybody's licensed to work as a medical. Like, they're not gonna check licenses unless, like, somebody dies under their hands or something like that. It's really bizarre, but like I said, you can read through it yourself. Um, I doubt, I highly doubt that this is, you know, just going to be in Tennessee. I believe other states are going to adopt the same, if not similar, executive orders. All right, and this is all prophesied in the scriptures. Let's get Second Ezra. Let's get Second Ezra. Let's get Second Ezra 16. No, 15. Slaki. This is Second Ezra 15, and I'll start at 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Yeah. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because, hey, Tennessee is, is a very conservative state, if you will. They're all about, um, the ideals of, power of the state, and they're gonna rebel against, their freedoms being taken away. If they can't, if they can't, go out and do business as usual. It's a heavy gun state. They like their guns. And they like their freedoms. So, these strict laws, these harsh laws, if they feel like it's being taken away from them, they're gonna do something about it. Shit, when you look up executive orders, Bill Lee Executive Order 83 on YouTube, you can read the comments, and there's a lot of Tennesseans saying that they're gonna take action against this executive order, which will make them an enemy of the state. So it's going to be, U.S. citizens versus U.S. military, which is, talked about in the scripture. Egyptian against Egyptian. I think it's in this chapter, actually. All right, it's like it. Isaiah 19:2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. They shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." So it's going to be state versus state, because every state is probably going to have their own way of dealing with it. Every county is going to have its own way of dealing with it. Memphis, Tennessee, and Nashville, Tennessee are going to have two different orders, compared to especially these, smaller population counties. They're definitely going to have their own agenda, because they have sheriffs. They don't have police departments. They have sheriffs and sheriff deputies, which is under a different. Everybody in a small town, they have to, vote who's going to be their sheriff, and then the sheriff appoints their sheriff deputies. But the police department, they're under the authority of the mayor of a city. But even within a city, you still have sheriff and sheriff deputies. So they're under two. It's designed for chaos. All right, it's designed for Esau kingdom to be divided. You know. So let's go back to Second Ezra 15. Where was I? Oh yeah, verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. We got a glimpse of that last year. So what do you think is coming, right? With all these executive orders. Executive orders, man. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, which the modern day sword is the guns, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, this society is going to collapse, man. It's this economic system is like a house of cards. If one thing is overwhelmed, i.e., the medical, uh, um, system is overwhelmed, then the rest of it collapses. If the transportation, if all the essential works, if one of them falls, then the rest of them fall. If one of them is overworked, then it's just a house of cards ready to collapse. Hey, and all these dominoes are lined up, man. We're in the last times. This is the hour of temptation. This is when the pressure is applied. This is when there's going to be executive orders, against people that don't want to comply with the beast system, right? And they're going to come with that RFID chip. The executive orders are in place, man. We're at the end. This is it, baby. Hey, and I'm excited, man. Really. Hey, because, I have faith in Yahweh through his son Yahweh Shai that, that this is going to be a good testimony. This is it. This is Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now this was, talking about the Israelites in Jerusalem, but we still apply it today for the, ones that call themselves Jews but don't conduct themselves as such, and also those imposters over there in the Holy Land right now. But anyways, verse 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So that's what we're striving for, man. Is remaining faithful to Yahweh B'Shem Shai in these last days, in this pressured, filled time, in this hour of temptation, right? Because the end goal is going to be that that mark of the beast, all right? The RFID chip. This is just a prelude to condition your minds into complying with the beast system, all right? Let's get that one in Revelation 3. I'll get Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And what's the temptation? Oh, you won't be able to operate in society unless you take this mark. That's the tempting. You want your job, you want to get paid, you want to sell stuff. Well, you better be marked. But verse 11 says, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So we're not giving in to this devil's pressure, man. Order ab chao. Let's see. Oh shit. I already read it. What am I thinking of? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're in the end times, man. How evident? How much more evidence do you need? Let's get Revelation 13 and 16, just for fun. This is Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. I mean, look, look what's going on. Look what's going on. And then my channel just got striked for, mentioning this. So I'm on my backup page, which is probably going to get a strike, but hey man, I still have to push this video out, man. I still have to push these videos out. Which, our videos getting taken down. That's just a fulfillment of scripture. Actually, let's get 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter. I want to say 9. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 5 and 9. I'll start at 8. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. We go into that word confusion, lack of understanding, uncertainty. Because people are uncertain. They don't know what's going on. There's so much information, misinformation, disinformation. They don't know what the hell is going on. That's why Isaiah 33 and 6 says the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, and the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Because if you read scriptures, if you know the prophecy of Yahweh Shema Shai, you know what's going on. You're not confused. You're very certain of what's happening. But anyways, it says, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. And salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. So friends being turning against one another because of the mass psychosis or mass hysteria, mob mentalities. It says, then shall wit hide itself, and wit is just knowledge, mental sharpness, and inventiveness, keen intelligence, or have knowledge, and it's hiding itself. You can't speak the truth. You can't speak about what's going on these platforms because they get flagged, what Esau deems as misinformation, and understanding withdraw itself into the secret chamber. This scripture is just saying what Amos 8 and 11 says. This is Amos 8 and 11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And when you read verse 12, it says, they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So this information is gonna be hidden in those days, man. Or in these days, I should say. I mean, it's already being hid. It's gonna be too late to get right. It's gonna be too late to get wisdom and understanding. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to bring out that executive order, go into it a little bit. I want to see if I missed anything. Medical professional staffing flexibility is permitted. Yeah, so basically it's just, oh yeah, this one was interesting, this part too. Behavioral health, inpatient psychiatric, residential and crisis care staffing flexibility is permitted pursuant to an approved plan to relieve the capacity strain on certain staffing functions. I don't think that one was it, but it talks about different uh, mental health. Um, so if you're not down with these executive orders, they're gonna call you, um, mentally insane, and try to medicate you for, whatever mental disorder that whatever they try to deem that you have. Yeah, inspections of mental health and substance abuse facilities and services are suspended. Um, Unannounced life safety and environmental inspections of licensed services or indication of possible abuse or neglect by the service or facility or its employees, from law enforcement. Yeah, so if there's if there's a suspicion of you, of substance abuse or mental health, then they can call on the authorities to get you, locked up, you know, and most likely into one of these bad boys quarantine and isolation facilities. So yeah, so they're gonna be able to, call you crazy if you're, speaking, um, against these executive orders, put you into an isolation facility, and keep you locked up until Yahushua sends an angel to deliver you, or until you get put to death, for a testimony of Yahweh Shem Shai. What have it? But hey, man, this is what we've been mentally preparing for, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. This is it, baby. So bring it on, man. Hurry it up, Esau. Quit lollygagging, you know? But yeah, Shalom. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash.